Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good day. Big Mets here, and behind the camera is Little Mets. I'm having a tough time filming this video, so I've already tried 3 times. I told myself it was going to be a one-take wonder, but I got myself a nice little cold beer. I've got my wife Jeannie here who's going to ask me some questions, and we're gonna get through this together because we owe the people a video, and we're gonna get it done.
It took me 100 times to film.
It took Jeannie literally 100. It took her 4 hours to film the previous video. So, anyways.
Okay.
Jeannie's gonna start with asking the questions, and I'm gonna answer the questions truthfully. Let's do this.
Okay. All right, Big Nates, tell the people what happened.
All right, tell the people what happened. Well, I was 24th at my first Ironman World Championship. I think I was 9 hours and 11 minutes, so about an hour slower than what I would have liked, and I walked pretty much 16 miles of the marathon. So that was not the plan that I had in my mind. That was not something I envisioned as a day that I wanted to have out there. And I think I had issues. I struggled in the race. I struggled in every component. I don't think I was 100% prepared for exactly what that was. But what I will say is I learned a ton in that race. I learned that Ironman World Championship racing is an absolutely different level of any Ironman racing that I've done before. And I kind of needed that experience in order to open my eyes to what something like Kona might look like in the future, or what, regional championship might look like in the future. So, that's what happened on the day. I had like some very specific issues. Like that. I've probably got 5 things. I don't think it's a X plus Y equals Z situation. I think it's like a combination of factors going into the race that didn't set me up to necessarily have my best day. I was super optimistic. I am super fit, so it was a lot of stuff that was kind of like not exclusive to fitness, but one thing I learned the hard way that fitness doesn't necessarily always equal performance. It takes so much more than that. So anyways, that's what happened on race day. If you guys want to hear more about the actual nitty-gritty details, maybe I'll share that going forward, but pretty much the short of it is 24th place, not necessarily the race I was hoping for, but a big learning experience and something that I'll grow from.
And you finished,
I finished, yeah.
You really there was a moment where I thought you were going to just like go off the course.
Yeah.
I had to be like, no, you got to keep going because we don't give up.
And that was the thing is, like, aside from being ultra disappointed in what the actual finish was, I was really proud of the time and the place and whatever. I was really proud of the fact that I finished because I was having some physical issues where I think a lot of people would have pulled out, and I think you saw a pretty high percentage of the men's field pulling out of the race when they ran into other issues because that course was just so difficult that I think a lot of people ran into problems. And I was happy that I was able to get across that line regardless of what it looked like from the outside, what it looked like when I was walking by people or anything like that. I think it took a lot for me to swallow my pride and say I need to start when I finished here because this race did mean a lot to me. And so despite being disappointed in the outcome, in my performance, I at least was able to kind of get that finisher's medal around my neck and bring that back home to Boulder.
Okay. How are you feeling?
I am feeling better now. We're exactly 1 week removed from the race. I would say my initial reaction was just really, really intense disappointment. I think anyone who's done triathlon knows that you have to go through these experiences. It's not a matter of like you rocking up to every single race and crushing them over and over and over again. You're going to have races that are tough, and they're going to have races where you don't meet your own expectations and you don't meet the external expectations, and it's just going to be a real challenge. So the beginning part of this week, I was not in a good place. I was really frustrated. I was struggling, and I think for anyone that knows me or follows me, like I'm just genuinely such a positive person, and I'm always seeing the bright side of every situation. And this was one where, when you commit your whole life to something and you feel like you try to make every correct decision that you possibly can, and to go there and not have it go your way, I think it's just a real gut punch. So I felt the emotions that anyone would feel after a big disappointment, whether that's in sport or otherwise. So that was a big struggle for me early in the week. But since then, I've had tons of conversations with my family, with Jeannie, with my coaches. We've made some modifications in terms of what we think we need to do moving forward. And now I have a new racing plan. And I think for athletes, it's always like, you're on to the next. You just like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And I think until you get until you like recover and absorb and get all your takeaways organized, then you set the next plan, you feel pretty uneasy. So now I'm feeling better because I've got my next goal on the horizon, and I'm going to start working towards that. But I would say the last week, tough, and I'm turning the corner.
Where's your head at now?
Yeah, I think my head's in a better space. I would say that, like I mentioned, I learned a ton from this, and I think, one of my goals going into the race was to be really tough and kind of go back to some of like my signature strengths. And when you think about before the race toughness or something like that, you kind of envision a scenario where you're battling for a podium position, or you're running side by side with someone and you're running 6-minute pace down the final hill or something like that. You don't necessarily envision walking 16 miles. And I think this tapped into a different side of toughness that I was able to, show and experience. But I think it still hurts. And I think like these moments and times in life and sport is just like something you gotta roll with, and you just gotta keep going. So I think the big takeaway for me is that I hope that my performance in some way inspired people to push through their race and not quit, or even a training session that's not going your way. It's not necessarily always about finishing place and accolades and success. Sometimes it's just about like that internal conquest to find your limit. And my limit was a lot lower than what I thought on that day, but I did find it. So I hope that inspired someone out there.
What's the plan now?
Well, I am in great shape. If you guys watched any of Matt Hansen's videos, or you watched any of my videos, I trained the house down for this one. And so I have some areas of improvement. I think those areas of improvement, included but are not limited to dialing in my nutrition plan, making sure that my body is firing on all cylinders, and then making sure that my training is 100% accurate. And I don't think that all of those things were in order going into this race, but at the end of the day, I did do a lot of really, really high quality work, and I know I'm in good race shape. Was I ready for that? I don't know. I don't think so. I think the proof's in the pudding that I wasn't 100% ready on the day. Whether that was in my control or it wasn't, or it was just a one-day thing, I'm not sure. But what I do know is that I want to race, and I'm really motivated. I'm motivated to train. I'm motivated to continue improving, and I'm motivated to get out there. And I'm still hungry for results. As pros, or even as anyone out there, like, you just want to get back what you put in. And I feel like this year I've struggled to get back from a racing perspective exactly what I put in. And that's not just along the lines of like performance and prize money and whatever, although those things are highly motivating to me. It's more so about just like going to the races and doing the training and the investment of time and energy and passion and focus that I've put into these things, and just getting a result that is like correlate to that. So that's what I'm seeking, and I can't find that in non-race environments. So I'm going to some race environments, and that includes 70.3 Eagleman on June 12th. So that's 4 weeks from today. So the big key is to get recovered mentally, emotionally, and physically from Worlds, which was just a week ago, but I'm already starting to feel pretty good. It's kind of interesting how well you recover when you run a 3:40 marathon instead of a 2:40 marathon. But so yeah, I'm coming around. I'm going to get back into some good training. I've made some modifications in terms of the plan with my coaching staff, and so we'll implement those kind of straight away on Monday. And then, I'll do 70.3 in Eagleman, which I did as one of my first pro races in 2014. So going back to that one, really looking forward to it. Haven't raced on the East Coast, and aside from Florida, in like a pretty long time. So that'll be good. And then the big target for me is I got to get back to another Ironman. I'm just so hungry to execute a good Ironman. And looking at the schedule, I think the right one for me is Ironman Lake Placid. So I'm going to get after Ironman Lake Placid. I'm pumped. It's always one that I've wanted to do. It was in the back of my mind. If things didn't necessarily go to plan in St. George, I was hoping St. George would go better, so it would free up my summer a little bit. But I'm not disappointed by any means about doing Ironman Lake Placid. So anyone's got tips on how to nail that race, you let me know in the comments. And same with Eagleman, I guess. I was 10th there in 2014, so I'd like to improve on that. And so that's my immediate racing plan, kind of still with the aim of trying to get to Kona. Getting to Kona was a big goal for me in St. George, and I wasn't able to do that, so kind of remains the goal, and I'll try to get there.
What's the takeaway?
The takeaway is you just can't quit. You just cannot quit, and you just got to keep going. And you've got to know that sometimes, even if it means everything to you, even if it means the world, sometimes things just don't pan out in your favor. And I think it's one of those things where you can look at it as a massive disappointment, and it can force you to look yourself in the mirror and question why you do this and whether or not it's worth it. Or you can look at it as like the best growth and learning experience out there. Like losing it hurts the most. But if you don't lose and you don't fail, you don't grow and you don't learn and you don't know what to do. So the only way forward is through. And so now I never questioned any of those things. I know I got to keep going. I know this is the right path for me. I believe in myself. I believe in the people around me, and we're just going to keep going, and we're going to keep doing this, and we're going to get it right. Hurts in the moment, but you know what? You just got to have that no quit attitude. I just want to thank all you guys. Like, it's just so massive to me. Anyone who follows me on here, anyone that follows me from afar, whether it's on Instagram or whatever, and even all the people on course, just really tons of Big Met support. And I didn't expect that out there. When you're having a tough day, getting those cheers is really key, and it's nice. So anyways, that's the update for now. Hopefully we can bring you guys some more epic, awesome videos, whether that's about mindset or just cool workouts or training. Let me know what you guys want to see kind of in this block as we build towards Eagleman and Lake Placid. For now, I'm going to enjoy my beer. Oh, Jeannie wants...
No, you didn't thank Millie.
Oh, Millie. All right, obviously we got to thank Millie. So big thank you to Millie for being... Just being a dog. Just being a dog. Sometimes, you know what? That's the great thing about pets is... You have a good day or a bad day, you come home, she gives you licks and you give her some pets, and you know what? It's all gonna be okay. So yeah, really appreciate all the support, guys. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you next time. Peace.